Ooh, it's good to be filming a video again. As you can probably tell from the title, we're gonna start a mock series. And just a quick rundown before we get into the building, this is gonna be based off the fan film Tukk Tales created by High Ground Animations. If you haven't seen the trailer for it yet, I highly recommend you go check it out. Link will be in the description down below. I reached out to High Ground to see if I could get a little bit more information from him. I'm sure he was flooded with messages and stuff like that, but he took the time to respond to my message. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to give me too many details, but he did give me one piece of information that I'll go over later in the video. So again, huge thank you to High Ground Animations. You are creating something truly amazing. It's been a while since a piece of Star Wars media has gotten me this excited, so thank you so much for that. I also want to mention one little tiny detail. It's actually quite exciting. I am going to be working with True Squadron and Behind the Brick on this collab mock, and it is going to be shown at Brickworld Chicago. We're estimating this is going to be about 12 feet long, so it's going to be absolutely massive, and I'm really excited to see what the other guys create. But I won't spoil their stuff. They're creating their own videos, and I will leave a link in the description for their videos once they come out. I asked y'all in a community post a couple weeks ago what you would like to see, and the responses were absolutely fantastic. So throughout the video, I'm going to be going over the different techniques that I've been using and longer time lapses. I built this whole contraption for new time lapses for movement and stuff like that. So I'm super excited for you guys to see this. I have a lot planned and I have a lot to do. So without further ado, let's get into it.
So in this first episode, we are going to be working on the foundation for the coaxium refinery. So we're going to start off with 3x2 gray base plates and then add 3 gray base plates on the end of it, and that's going to be for the terrain. But we're going to start off with the base wall, and that's going to be on the right side, the back side, and then the left side. We're going to keep the bottom side open so people can see inside when viewing at Brickworld, and we're just going to fill that in with, some gray plates and stuff like that. Nothing too fancy. But then on the right half, we're going to add some water in. That's where the entrance is going to be, and then we're going to have some rocks on either side, kind of making a canyon, and there's going to be an energy bridge connecting the base to the terrain, and that bridge is going to continue from the entrance down, and then there's going to be a door on the left wall that's going to connect over to Behind the Bricks portion of the build. And then as you can see here, I just have a kind of a profile side view of what it's going to look like. It's going to be rather tall, this little section. I want enough room for the ATTE, but also for people to kind of like peer in and see everything and all the details. But yeah, that bridge is just going to slope down right into the door that's going to be there on the left side. But that's pretty much the blueprints I have right now. Let's get started building. All right, so we're going to be starting with 2 large gray base plates here. And first up, we're going to build the wall. That's going to be part of the canyon. Right here, I got a couple of snot bricks just so we can connect some rock work to later. We're going to add this on the, let's call it the north side. This is where the terrain is going to start. And as you can see here, I already started on some rock work. It's basic slope techniques built on top of plates and then just turned on their sides. There's just a lot of filler brick in here, and we're just adding in some slopes. I kind of had a gradient going here just from light gray to dark gray, nothing fancy. And then I have them all tiled off so no studs are showing. But overall, it looks really great for such a simple technique. Now it's time to connect them all together. And here in the middle, I'm going to add a platform. I suppose this is where the energy is kind of being stored for that energy bridge. And on the side, we're just going to connect more rock work. And that means the north side is all complete. Looks pretty good, looks pretty seamless. I'm very happy how it came out. The open gap on top is just where the energy bridge is going to connect, so don't worry about that right now. Now for the south wall. The south wall is going to be the same technique with the rock work and stuff like that, but this is where the refinery is going to start. Just as before, we're going to start with a wall here, and then I have these tiles here. It's just a 4x4 plate with some grills on there and some lighting with some snot bricks on the back of them. We're going to put a whole bunch of those up there, along with some slope pieces. And then to add the slopes for the rocks. It's the same technique as before, but just a little bit smaller. And this is where the energy bridge is going to come out of. Again, it's nothing fancy just because it is going to be covered by that energy bridge. So I just wanted something basic in there, but sturdy. And then on the other side, we're just going to do the same exact thing we did before, but I do love the repeating pattern on here. It just looks really good. It's very satisfying. And hopefully when I add lighting into this, I can add in some lights for those orange bits there. But now onto the energy bridge, nothing fancy. It's just utilizing a lot of 1x2 trans blue bricks. But we're just going to add that in. It kind of slips in real nice and easy. And you know what? It's pretty sturdy too. But now to tear it all up and add in the water. Now for the water, I'm going to use something a little different. Instead of just putting down trans blue tiles or something like that, I'm going to try and do like a gradient thing to simulate depth. So obviously for the deeper parts, we're going to start with black, then it's going to fade out using gray to blue and then to white for the most shallow parts. But first, let's add all the plates in, starting with black, then to gray, then to blue, and now white. And everything looks pretty good. Now it's just time to add in the tiles. And the tiles look super good. It's kind of hard to tell on camera, but it looks pretty good. It is a little bit uniform, so I may go back and change that and stagger the 1x4 tiles, just so the pattern doesn't repeat too much. Let's take a break from building and open up a care package. I got this from Lego's online Pick-a-Brick. As you can see, I got the gift with purchase there. That's always a nice little bonus to get in any order, but I'm super stoked. I got a bunch of tile pieces, different wires and bricks and plates, a lot of grills, and just a lot more unique tiles. But here's all I got just to take it all in, and I'm really happy to finally add more diverse parts into my collection. I don't know if anybody else is as weird as me, but I go through and count all my parts, and I know it's a little weird. I always just like to double check because sometimes they do give extra parts, and in fact they did, and they ended up giving me a lot more parts than I ordered on a lot of certain types of pieces. So I don't know if this has happened to any of you, but if you do order from the online Pick-a-Brick, sometimes they'll throw in a bunch of extra parts. And then I swung by the Lego store just to see what they had, and they had a good amount of stuff. So I picked up some snot bricks, some white slopes, and then some more 1x4 blue tiles, and then a few more white slopes, just because I do want to do a snow terrain. And then in the second box, it's just a little bit more of the same, just 1x4 tiles in white and trans blue, along with these really great snot bricks that'll come in handy later. And then these awesome little like twig or branch pieces. But enough of that, let's get back into building. As you can see here, I have a base plate already ready to go, but I'm utilizing a lot of these great pieces just because I got a lot of them from the Pick-a-Brick wall a while back. But I left this gap in the middle here for a road that we'll add later. This one side is going to be where the wall starts, and that's going to be for the entrance. And for the wall, I'm just utilizing 1x pieces and stacking them up and adding some snot bricks in there. I want to have some dividers in the wall, so I'll add those in. And then I'll add in my wall with the snot bricks. And then another divider, just add a little pop. I like to add white accents into things. It's not too hard on the eyes, and I also have a lot of them, so might as well use them. We're gonna add this 4x16 that's on hinges, along with some tiles on the top. Add that into place. And then we're just going to add some more plates and tiles onto that. And then we're just going to rinse and repeat for the whole process. For the roadway here, we're just going to utilize my favorite piece, which is the spring-loaded shooter, along with some light gray and dark gray pieces. And these are just going to slide into place. It's going to be friction fit. I don't know if it's an illegal build technique or not because it's not connected to any studs or anything like that, but it does the trick and it's not going anywhere. But we're just going to add a whole bunch of these down the way and it all connects together pretty seamlessly. And then we're just going to tile off the sides with some white tiles just to give it a little more of a seamless feeling. And now we're just going to do a quick copy and paste and connect the two together. This is looking pretty good. That wall is where the energy bridge is going to connect to, and that's going to be our front gate to the factory. Obviously, this wall will be a lot higher, but again, this is just the foundation. We're starting low and then working our way up. And let's take another break from building and kind of go over the figures here. For the grunts, we're going to use these 241st Troopers by Coffee Mug. I think they look really good. I got a bunch for a really good price. I highly recommend you go check him out. He makes some quality stuff. That's what the figure is going to look like when it's all done. It looks really good in my opinion. I like the colors. It pops. It's very vibrant. I don't know if it's very accurate, but it looks really good. I also picked up a Dremel. That's mainly going to be for the legs. Going to make the carving a little bit easier. And then the Jonak figures, they are all UV printed. The only thing decaled is the helmet, but I think they look really, really good. But I ended up getting 70 241st Troopers, and that's going to be a lot of work to decal all those figures. I'm not really excited to do it, but hey, it's got to be done. But that's the figures so far. Hopefully by next video, I have tackled a little bit more of them. All right, let's get back to building. This is going to be the second half of the foundation. This is where the bridge is going to touch down to the ground level and then connect to that door that's going to connect over to behind the bricks section of the base. Again, it's just using the same thing we did last time for the floors, a lot of the great pieces. And once that's complete, we're going to connect that over to our other half. And once we put that together, we're going to have a whole lot of space to add details later down the line. But now we're going to move over to the bridge. The bridge is going to be super easy. I'm going to utilize some snot bricks and obviously light gray, dark gray bricks and these spring-loaded shooters. And that's all going to go together super seamlessly. And then we're just going to have that white strip going down the middle. But once that's all together and set in place, oh man, it looks so good. Can't wait to add an ATTE to that. But once I was looking at it, it kind of looked off to me. It just didn't seem right. So I put down the ATTE and I was like, oh no, it doesn't fit. And, you know, that's really unfortunate. It was just poor planning on my part. So what we're going to have to do is take the bridge and the energy bridge and shift that down. Now, the reason I'm going to be doing that is also because I didn't properly coordinate with behind the bricks either, because he is going to be doing a hangar where the ATTEs are going to be stationed, and he's going to need enough room for that. And if my door doesn't connect with his door, then we have a huge problem. So it's something I just have to buckle down and change, which stinks, but that's all right. That's just part of the process. So how about I just put my head down and grunt through this and you watch some awesome build time lapses. All right, after a couple hours of just fixing my big mistake, it is done. And honestly, I'm so happy that this happened because this looks so much better. I totally reworked the energy bridge, made that wider, made the actual bridge inside of the base wider so that the ATTE actually fits on it with some room to spare. And I added some little platforms on top of the energy bridge, which makes it look really, really cool instead of just something super bland. But I am a little worried that that slope there is a little too steep for the ATTE. It doesn't look too bad, but I may go back and rework that as well. But overall, I'm super happy with how everything turned out. This thing looks awesome. So I'm super excited to continue working on this.
Thank y'all so much for sticking around to the end of the video. Again, a huge thank you to High Ground Animations for just creating a masterpiece. And thank you True Squadron and Behind the Brick. I'm really lucky to have made some great friends in this community, and I'm so excited to build with them now. Brickworld Chicago is gonna be awesome, and having a build there is gonna be even better. Also, let me know in the comments of anything you liked, didn't like about this. I really want to refine it so I give the best quality videos to you guys. It's something super important to me and to the channel. I don't want anyone leaving here thinking they just wasted time. But again, thank y'all for watching. Hope you have a good one, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.